My name's Christina Johnson, 28, a marketing whiz with big dreams and an even bigger coffee addiction. Just a few months ago, I was stuck at some no-name company going nowhere fast. Then, out of the blue, I landed my dream job at Evergreen Enterprises, a prestigious publishing house run by the Evergreen family. And trust me, this family is a big deal. Robert Evergreen is the top dog. His wife Linda manages the social side of things, and their son Michael. Well, he's married to my sister Emma. Connections, right? First day on the job, and I'm a nervous wreck, sweating bullets as I step through the glass doors. And who do I run into immediately? Robert Evergreen himself. Great. Welcome aboard, Christina. Emma's told us wonderful things about you. Robert greets me, his smile warm but imposing. All I can think is, don't screw this up, Burl. To my surprise, the first few days fly by without a hitch. I even hit it off with Alex Chen, my new work buddy. One afternoon by the water cooler, she leans in with a smirk. Girl, you're on fire. The Evergreens can't stop singing your praises. I'm grinning, feeling on top of the world when suddenly, a man strides by. Gorgeous, confident, total dreamboat. My eyes follow him, and Alex notices. That's James Foster. Works for a rival company. Off limits, but oh so drool-worthy. Before I can respond, Vanessa Evergreen, Michael's sister and head of HR, storms past, practically leaving scorch marks in her wake. What's her deal? I ask, raising an eyebrow. Alex just rolls her eyes. Vanessa's not thrilled about the new golden girl in town, she says, but I shrug it off. I'm here to work, not make enemies. Months pass, and I'm killing it. In a meeting with Robert, I pitch a new marketing campaign, heart-pounding. Christina, this is exceptional work. Robert beams. I think you're ready for something bigger. My heart does backflips. I'm all ears, sir. We've got a major project coming up. Could mean big things for the company and for you. I leave his office practically floating, but as I turn the corner, I run into Vanessa. She looks like she's been sucking on a lemon. Congratulations, she says, her voice sugary sweet but her eyes sharp. Looks like having family in high places is paying off for you. I'm about to snap back when Alex swoops in, linking her arm with mine. Come on, superstar. Let's get lunch. I want to hear all about this big project. The project is intense, like a non-stop roller coaster. I'm living on coffee, barely catching daylight, but no pain, no gain, right? During our weekly check-in, Robert smiles at me. Christina, these numbers are impressive. Keep this up and we'll need to talk about your future here. I'm on cloud 9. That is, until I check my phone. 3 missed calls from James. Guilt churns in my gut as I dial him back. Hey, stranger. Remember me? His tone is light, but there's tension underneath. James, I'm so sorry. This project. Yeah, I know. It's important, he interrupts. Just don't forget about the rest of your life, okay? I promise to make it up to him, but as I hang up, something feels off, like something important is slipping away. The next day, I overhear whispers by the copier. I heard she's only here because of her sister's connections, Lisa says in a hushed tone. No way. I thought she was actually good at her job, Tom replies. The words hit me like a punch to the gut. Where is this coming from? Later that afternoon, as I head toward the break room, I hear raised voices coming from Michael's office. I know I shouldn't eavesdrop. I knew I shouldn't, but when I heard my name, I couldn't help it. I leaned closer to the door, my heart racing. You can't keep protecting her, Michael. Vanessa's voice was sharp, dripping with venom. Christina's using her family ties to climb the ladder, and everyone knows it. That's ridiculous, Michael shot back, sounding both defensive and exhausted. Christina's one of our best employees. She's earned everything she's gotten here. Oh please, wake up, brother. She's manipulating all of you, and you're too blind to see it. Enough? Michael's voice cut through the air, filled with finality. I won't hear any more of this. Christina stays. End of discussion. I didn't wait to hear more. I practically ran to Alex's desk, pulling her into an empty conference room. My chest felt tight, my mind spinning. Whoa, Chris, you look like you've seen a ghost, Alex said, concern etched in her face. I spilled everything, the rumors, the argument I'd overheard, all of it. As I spoke, her expression darkened. I had a feeling Vanessa was behind this, Alex muttered. Listen, Chris, you need to watch your back. Vanessa's got connections all over the company. Be careful what you say and who you trust. But what am I supposed to do? I whispered, panic creeping in. Just let her spread lies about me. For now, yeah. Keep your head down, do your work. We'll figure this out. I promise. I nodded, trying to calm the storm in my chest, but my thoughts were spiraling. That afternoon, I was knee-deep in spreadsheets when Robert's assistant appeared at my desk, her face unreadable. Mr. Evergreen wants to see you. HR is there too. My stomach dropped. This couldn't be good. I walked into Robert's office, the atmosphere heavy. Robert looked grim, flanked by two stone-faced HR reps. And there, sitting smugly in a corner, was Vanessa, a flicker of satisfaction in her eyes. "Christina, please sit down," Robert said, his voice heavy with regret. "What's going on?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. "We've discovered some disturbing information," Robert began, his words like a sledgehammer to my chest. "According to our records, you have an undisclosed criminal record for fraud." The room spun. "What?" My voice cracked. "That's impossible. I've never." "We have the documents right here," one of the HR reps said coldly, sliding a file toward me. My hands trembled as I flipped through the papers. They were wrong. It had to be a mistake. This isn't true. I've never been arrested, let alone convicted of fraud. But my protests fell on deaf ears. Robert's face twisted with a pained expression. "I'm sorry, Christina. You're suspended pending a full investigation." The words hit me like a freight train. Numb, I stumbled out of his office, my world crashing around me. At home, I called Emma, my last hope for support. My voice broke as I explained. "Em, you have to help me. They think I'm a criminal." There was a long, painful pause. "Chris, is it true?" My heart shattered. "How can you even ask me that? You're my sister." "I know, but Michael's family is saying. You believe them over me, your own flesh and blood." The argument escalated, our words sharp, irreparable. By the time I hung up, I felt more alone than I'd ever been in my life. A few days later, forcing myself to run errands, I literally ran into someone outside the grocery store. "I'm so sorry," I mumbled, not even looking up, until I froze. "Christina?" A familiar voice said. "It's Rachel. Rachel Torres. She used to work at Evergreen." The recognition dawned in her eyes. "Are you okay? You look like hell." I laughed bitterly. "Yeah, that's what being framed and suspended does to a girl." Over coffee, I spilled everything. Rachel listened, her expression growing darker with each word. "Christina, the same thing happened to me," she said quietly, her voice tinged with regret. "One day, there were discrepancies in my work. Accusations of misconduct. I was gone before I knew what hit me." "Why?" I asked, my throat tight. Rachel's eyes narrowed. "I think it was Vanessa. I was up for a promotion she wanted. Next thing I knew, I was out." A spark of hope ignited in my chest. "Rachel, would you be willing to go on record about this?" She hesitated for a long moment, then nodded. It's time someone stood up to her. I called Alex immediately, my pulse racing as we met at a dimly lit bar, far from Evergreen's reach. "We need to dig deeper. Vanessa's done this before, hasn't she?" Alex said, her eyes gleaming with determination. "If there's a pattern, we'll find it." We spent the next week digging through records, calling former employees, and piecing together a disturbing picture. Vanessa had been manipulating files, fabricating complaints, and orchestrating dismissals, all to eliminate anyone who stood in her way. The more we uncovered, the more my resolve hardened. "It's time to fight fire with fire," I muttered, typing furiously on my laptop. Together, Alex and I compiled everything we had: emails, testimonies, discrepancies, and I hit send on an anonymous email to the board, detailing every HR irregularity we'd uncovered. There was no turning back now. The day of the board meeting arrived, and I paced outside the room, my heart hammering in my chest. Alex gave me a reassuring thumbs up as she slipped inside. Her position hadn't been compromised, so she was our inside informant. Moments later, the door burst open. "Miss Johnson, the board requests your presence," a stern-faced assistant announced. I walked in, my chin held high, facing a room full of wide-eyed, shocked faces. Vanessa, sitting at the end of the table, looked like she'd seen a ghost. "What is she doing here?" she hissed. but Robert silenced her with a raised hand. "Christina," he began, his voice thick with regret. "We owe you an apology. Our internal audit has uncovered discrepancies. We'd like to hear your side." I took a deep breath, steadying myself. "I'm here to clear my name and to expose the real fraud in this company." For the next hour, I laid out every piece of evidence we had uncovered: the manipulated records, the fabricated complaints, the targeted dismissals. Every trail led back to Vanessa. She sputtered denials. But with each document I presented, the cracks in her facade deepened. The final blow came when the door opened and Rachel, along with 3 other former employees, walked in. Their testimonies were damning. "This is ridiculous," Vanessa shrieked, her voice desperate. "You can't believe these disgruntled ex-employees over me." "Actually," Alex chimed in, stepping forward with a cool confidence, "we can. Especially with these." She produced a flash drive, holding it up for everyone to see. "Copies of the files you tried to delete, Vanessa." Oops. Chaos erupted in the room. By the time the dust settled, Vanessa was being escorted out, her career in shambles. I watched, feeling a mix of vindication and relief, as Robert approached me. He looked older, weary. "Christina," he said, his voice heavy with guilt. "We've made a terrible mistake. We'd like to offer you reinstatement, along with a substantial promotion and compensation for what you've been through." For a moment, I was tempted. But then I remembered the doubt, the betrayal, how easily they believed a lie over me. I shook my head. "I appreciate the offer, Mr. Evergreen," I said softly, but firmly. "But I think it's time for me to move on." Leaving Evergreen Enterprises behind felt like shedding old skin. I quickly landed a job at a cutting-edge startup, convincing them to hire Alex too. We built something new together, a fresh start. Rebuilding my relationship with Emma, though, was harder. We met at a small cafe, both of us nervous. "Chris, I'm so sorry," she said, her eyes brimming with tears. "I should have believed you. You're my sister." I took a deep breath, reaching across the table to take her hand. "We'll figure it out, Em," I replied, giving her hand a squeeze. She squeezed back. "Michael and I, we're separating." This whole mess made me realize some hard truths about my life. In the weeks that followed, I threw myself into my new role, determined to move forward. Then one morning, while scanning the news, a headline caught my eye. "Evergreen Enterprises faces class action lawsuit from former employees." I couldn't help but smile. Karma, indeed. Life wasn't perfect, but it was mine, and that was the sweetest victory of all. As for your question, if I were in Christina's shoes, I think I'd walk away too. Trust, once shattered, is hard to rebuild, especially when it's been undermined by betrayal at such a high level. It's not just about the job or the promotion. It's about knowing the people you work for have your back. To trust a company again after such a betrayal, it would take full accountability, deep systemic change, and genuine effort to rebuild that trust. What about you? What would it take for you to trust a company again after something like this? Would you have accepted Evergreen's offer?